So here's a question for you. You ever push through a game you don't even like, but in the end, turns out that game ends up being one of the most impactful experiences that you've ever had? I like the Persona games. Well, all the ones I've played so far. Wait, no, not those. I don't know how those got there. Stay away from me. Okay, let's start over. Hi, I'm Xavier, and I like 2 of the Persona games. Though I've dabbled in the PS2 version of Persona 3 when I was younger, I only first played Persona 3 Fez to completion a few years ago. This second attempt at the game really clicked with me, and I loved everything about that experience. The AI-controlled party, the condition system, the life sim stuff, social links, all of it. The way the AI party worked stood out to me compared to other turn-based JRPGs, and I really enjoyed how it felt like I was genuinely just a part of a team, made up of actual characters. The party got to be fully realized characters during the story and in battle as well. It's based as hell, and I love it. These positive feelings towards Persona 3 extend to the remake of that game as well, for the most part. Maybe I'll talk about that game one day. I tried Persona 4 immediately after 3, but unfortunately I just could not stick with it, for a variety of reasons. You see, JRPGs, more often than not, they've got this little problem. A little issue, you could say. A little snafu that sort of drives me up the wall. A little snag that just sort of spirals into a huge problem and ends up leaving me with another unfinished game for the pile. That problem is repeating what is happening as if I did not just read it 2 seconds ago. A slow start in anything is already a massive hurdle for me to get over, but I just cannot stand when the game's characters are either repeating things constantly or taking forever to realize something that was always totally obvious. Persona 4, in my opinion, takes a long time to set up its basic premise. Way too long. I mean, it didn't take long at all for me to get what was happening. There's a TV world. People are getting lost in it, succumbing to their shadow selves, which are manifestations of repressed feelings and desires and blah blah blah. Who cares? I get it. Don't waste my time. These games are long enough as it is. I promise you this, developers. This is the quickest way to get me to not care about your story and start fast forwarding your dialogue or skipping your cutscene. Like, you know how everyone and their mom blasted Final Fantasy XIII for how it introduced its world and story? Well, I've always loved Final Fantasy XIII, and this is one of the reasons why. Final Fantasy XIII starts with plenty of action and intrigue, and all the world building is weaved in beautifully. No data log needed. There's not a wasted moment. The world of Cocoon is immediately interesting, and the characters don't have to waste time on as-you-know dialogue just for the sake of the player. Everything they talk about and how they talk about it is relevant to their lives and what is going on with them in that moment. Meanwhile, Persona 4 was just boring. Even its setting of Inaba is a bit too slow paced for me when compared to the setting in Persona 3. Not even the gameplay could save it for me, because I wasn't a fan of damn near every single major change Persona 4 made to the combat. And yes, that includes the changes the game made to the tactics system, which was my preferred way to play. But hey, to be fair, it has been years now, and I do intend to try out Persona 4 again someday soon. But back then, man, it was rough. Especially coming right off of 3, which I felt was already perfect. Now, my first time playing Persona 4 mirrors my first time playing Persona 5, a game I didn't really have any interest in back in 2017 when it first dropped. I don't even know why. Like, what the hell was I doing in 2017? This game is like right up my alley. What was I playing? No, I didn't get a Switch until like 2019. Ah, yes, of course. Of course that's what I was doing. I didn't think it was bad or anything like that, and I could appreciate its visual style for sure. The game definitely had the sauce, but it just wasn't something I was chomping at the bit to play, you know? I figured I'd get to it later, and when I finally did get around to it, I was met with all those familiar feelings that I felt with Persona 4. I need you guys to remember, I don't go into these games for the story. I'm not sitting down after a hard day's work with the kids finally in bed to hear a fucking story. I'm here to play, not watch a movie or read a book. I know it's important to the overall package, I really do, but it's just so low on my gaming hierarchy of needs that it barely matters to me at all. I'm much more interested in battling monsters, fusing new persona, and crawling these dungeons. I'm much less likely to rant and rave over a fantastic social link than I am to rant and rave over a new block of mementos opening up. My cat is a car. Let's go. Oh my god. Turn it back. Turn it back. I really liked what Persona 5 had going on when it came to combat and the overall gameplay loop. Everything was so snappy. Battles could fly by so quickly. It was all very satisfying to play. And I think the player's progression is perfectly paced. It also seemed, at least to me, like the tactics system was greatly improved from 4. So unlike in that game, I was able to easily play Persona 5 with an AI party as God intended. So if it sounds like everything was going great, why wasn't I actually having fun then? To put it simply, Persona 5 has one of the longest tutorials I have ever seen. You see, this game also loves to talk. There is so much slow, boring, drawn-out talking in this game. And it is front-loaded with it. Like, holy hell, these concepts are not complicated. We steal hearts. I get it. That's what I did in high school. I'm an expert on the subject. The entire tutorial section of Persona 5 includes the first major dungeon, which surrounds this bitch-ass school volleyball coach, Mr. Kamoshida. You see, Kamoshida is a shit stain. He's constantly verbally and physically abusing his students, and even more twisted deeds are heavily implied by the game. He sucks real bad and is a great first target for our heroes, who intend to steal his heart, triggering a change of heart, which in turn causes him to publicly confess all of his crimes under the weight of his own guilt. Sounds cool, but the problem is they really spend a lot of time hammering home how shitty of a guy Kamoshida is. Like, dude, when I first saw his palace, his manifestation of his twisted desires was the school itself transformed into this gaudy castle, and he saw himself as a king with no pants on, I understood what we were dealing with here. That was enough. Everything I needed to know was told to me with character design and environmental storytelling alone. He was already deplorable enough for me to understand that we needed to take him down, and yet the game would not just shut up and get on with it. I would have been fine taking down Kamoshida like a whole 2 weeks faster than we do in-game. Just move up Shiho's tragedy to an earlier date, get Anna in the party sooner, and let's get on with it. But no, we have to drag on his antics for damn near an entire month of in-game time. It's just too much, and it did nothing but pull me out of the experience. I got so frustrated with it that I ended up just dropping the game shortly after finally stealing his heart. I just wanted to play the game, you know, get into crazy builds, meet new characters, and see what bonuses their social links offered. That kind of stuff. Persona 5 was only interested in talking to me about playing the game instead. I put the game down, and I didn't think about it at all anymore. Except, that's not entirely true. Because this one part of the game stuck with me even after I turned it off. I listen to all sorts of music, and that of course includes some of my favorite video game tracks. I'll frequently check YouTube study compilations or lo-fi remixes of games I love while working or driving or whatever, and I kept finding myself coming back to this one video. This is an extended mix of a song from Persona 5 called Beneath the Mask. This video has millions of views at the time of me writing this, and I feel like 500 of those have to be just from me. Everything about this encompasses a mood that I totally fell in love with. The music, the vocals, the rain, all of it. Dude, I could put this on while driving home from work on a cool summer night and just begin to lose myself. But then I snap back to reality and remember I'm driving a fucking car. Turns out I love Beneath the Mask. I loved Beneath the Mask, the song, more than I loved Persona 5, the video game. Like, come on.
For real?
So I reinstalled Persona 5 Royal last year and said to myself, how could I possibly drop a game with music like this? How dare I just divorce this amazing song from the game it came from? I began this new playthrough, totally fresh, ready to give the game another shot from the very beginning. And maybe this time, I'll slow down, take my time, and just enjoy the experience. But then I had to play the fucking Kamoshida tutorial section again, and I'm sorry, it's still so fucking long, and it was made even worse because I'd seen it all before. For fuck's sakes, thank God for fast forward! But then, once all of that awful tutorial was finally behind me, and the game opened up a little with the second major dungeon, I found myself totally immersed. I became Joker and completely lost myself in Tokyo. They got me. What I find really interesting about all of this is the simple fact that Beneath the Mask is the sole reason I decided to come back to Persona 5, and I'm so glad I did. I came to love the characters, every single one of them. I cared about all of them, and I just wanted them to be happy. Not like third semester happy, but actually happy. The gameplay really hooked me. I fused the best personas I could, really taking my time to explore that fusion system, which previously I just thought of as worst Pokemon with demons. And it kind of is. But even still, it's a lot of fun to try and build busted personas, whispering in my ear oh so sweetly. Guiding me through all of this was the amazing soundtrack of this game. Our boy Shoji Meguro was not fucking around. This shit right here is filled with nothing but bangers. I've already expressed my love for Beneath the Mask, and that goes for all versions, by the way. Shout out to the special rainy day version. My dude, you did not have to go that hard, but I'm so glad you did. That one is still my favorite, I think. I recently started making an Apple Music playlist where I just add one song from every game I'd finished in that year. It's a really fun way to track the games I've finished, and many times just hearing the music from a game will take me right back to that initial playthrough. I really love it. Things you love sort of cross-pollinating like this is just always fucking amazing. Since I beat Persona 5 early in 2025, I was able to add a song from it to the playlist. Just one, though. That's the arbitrary rule, after all, that I myself totally made up and cannot break, after all. Surely I gotta add Beneath the Mask then, right? I mean, I wouldn't have even come back to the game if not for that song, but which version do I add? The instrumental? The regular vocal version? Or the rainy day version? But also, guys, if I'm being real, Life Will Change is right over there. When you send that calling card and proceed to roll up with the homies to steal a heart just like you publicly announced you would, savage. That is king behavior. Sprinting to the treasure room with Life Will Change blaring never got old. Alright, I guess it'll be that. But man, the song I heard the most was easily Last Surprise. Talk about a battle theme, my god. Oh, and then there's Confession. Man, that beat is so good. Simply put, Persona 5 broke my playlist rule. There are like 15 Persona 5 songs on that playlist right now. Persona 3 Reload would go on to have just as many. The music in these games is ridiculous. Beneath the Mask is the kind of song that I can listen to pretty much anytime on loop and immediately be calmed. Immediately be relaxed. It's the perfect song to listen to first thing in the morning while you brew that first cup of coffee. Sojiro would be so proud. Taking a shower? Yeah. Rainy day Beneath the Mask. You driving home from work? Yep. It'll take the edge off. Trust me. Winding down for the night? I need that mask. So what the fuck was this video about? One day I intend to make a proper review of Persona 5, as there's plenty to talk about across the entire game. But I wanted to just talk about this one thing because I honestly think it's the best thing to come out of that entire game. Better than the tight JRPG battle mechanics, better than the life sim stuff or the flashy UI or the story or even the characters that I love. I will be able to play Persona 5 for the rest of my life and enjoy it because I know whenever I hop back in, all those familiar tunes will be waiting for me. Even though I regularly listen to the songs outside of the game, I don't think I can fully separate those feelings from playing the game. Beneath the Mask, Life Will Change, these songs belong with Persona 5, and it works to elevate the overall experience of just playing the game. Okay, X, you really love Beneath the Mask. Why did you make a whole video about just that? I don't know, why did you watch a whole video about just that? I'm glad you did though. The beauty of this channel is I really do be talking about whatever the hell I want. The beauty of subscribing is you get to consistently hear me talk about whatever I want. YouTube is pretty cool in that way. Most definitely. Even better, I get to talk to other people who dig what I dig, so be sure to let me know if something like this has ever happened to you. Have you ever stuck with a game that you didn't even like just because of some super small part of it that you did like? Share your feelings. I'd love to hear them. That's all I got for now. Remember, new video every month, so be sure to subscribe, and until next time, I'm a shapeshifter at this masquerade.